Hey, what's up? Do you know which one to choose? I mean, if you hear them all, you're like, I don't know. Do I need a mentor? Do I need a coach? Do I need a mastermind? Do I need an accountability group? Is mastermind just the latest buzzword? Because that happens a lot, that it's just a buzzword and you're sitting there going, well, I don't even know. How do you choose? Which one is the right one for you and how do you know? I'm going to give you the little tips and tricks and secrets to figure out whether you want to have a mentor, a coach, an accountability, or a mastermind group. Because let me tell you, you want to make sure that you're choosing the right one at the right time. Otherwise, you can find yourself stuck with, having the wrong thing or having expectations that aren't met, and that'll kind of drive you crazy. Anyway, who am I? My name is Dawnna St. Louis, and today I am working harder than an ugly stripper. That's what I'm doing today. I am the CEO of High Profit Zone, and I'm doing a very rare Sunday live stream. I really wanted to talk about this because it's something that comes up a lot. People will call me sometimes and they'll say, I want you to mentor me. And then I'll ask them what results they're trying to look for. Or I'll ask somebody, they're like, oh, I need a mastermind group. And then I'll say, okay, well, why do you need a mastermind group? And so you want to know what you're choosing and why you're choosing it, because it makes all the difference in the world. And so today there are 4 different types of groups, if you really think about it, right? So you have, there we go. So you have mentor, coach, mastermind, and accountability group. Let's talk about the first one, right? Mentor. So a mentor is someone more so than anything else. And there are people who do paid mentorships, but let's talk about that as well. So a mentor is someone who generally is going to bring to you their vast experience, and they are significantly further ahead than you are in business or in wherever, but they're further ahead. So let me give you an example. I have a friend who works in sales. He's worked in sales for 30 years, okay? His name is Michael Bentley. You guys hear me talk about him quite a bit. He's worked in sales for 30 years. Someone who is brand new to sales would look to Michael for mentorship. Mentorship means they're going to call every now and then. He's going to give them a little advice. They're not going to have this standing schedule of, I need to talk to you every single Friday at 1:00. It's not one of those relationships. It is really, he gives advice when they need it. He might say, hey, when you're doing a sale, you might want to do this, that, and the other. It's really just someone who's kind of walked in the shoes that you want to walk in. And they're more giving life advice or career advice on a specific subject. So let's say I wanted to retire, right? And so I might talk to someone who has already retired, and I might say, I want to retire in like 20 years. What did you do when you were like my age, when you were ready to retire? And they're like, oh, the first thing I did. And it would be more of a holistic conversation around the subject and less than a specific step-by-step, do this, do that kind of a thing. Okay, so that's mentorship. There are people who do paid mentorships, but quite honestly, I think what they're really doing is coaching. They're not really doing mentorship. So I just want to be clear on that, right? And a mentor, by the way, can cover lots of things. They can cover, a lot of these people who are life coaches are paid mentors. That's really what they are. All right, so now let's talk about coaching. So I do coaching a lot different than a lot of people, but I'm going to tell you the way that I have my coaching structured is specific to entrepreneurship and, of course, business growth. So from a coaching perspective, you're going to coach on 1 or 2 different things. One thing you're going to coach on either a project, right? Because coaching is results oriented. That is the difference between mentorship and coaching. Coaching is results oriented. Coaching is, we're going to talk about where you're trying to get to. I'm going to put a plan together. We're going to talk about how you're going to hit the milestones on that plan. Coaching is almost like individual project management. And it's going to help you hit a very, very, very specific goal. And that's the thing. Coaching is results oriented. So anyone that I coach, the first thing I do when I get on the phone with them, I say, well, tell me what goal you're trying to reach. Where are you trying to get to? Where are you now and where are you trying to get to? I'm not trying to just be on the phone talking to you, right? And the other thing is, like mentorship, the thing that I share in common with mentorship and coaching is that I don't believe in the whole, we're going to talk on Friday at 1:00 and that's the only time we're going to talk. What if you got a business problem on Tuesday at 4:00? What if you got a business problem on Thursday at 1 a.m.? You should be able to pick up the phone and or send a text message or pop a smoke signal or do a drive-by, something, that problem might not wait until Friday. So I think that coaching is very specific, result-oriented outcomes, and that you are giving this very specific information. And unlike mentorship, if you don't know the answer, your job is to go and find out and then come back and say, okay, this is what I found out. So coaching is very specific, right? You want to get a coach on that specific thing you're looking for. So if it was marketing, you go and get a marketing coach. Now, from a business perspective, what I usually do is I go, okay, let's look at project-based coaching first. And so people come in on my project-based coaching. Or if they go, no, I want you to be on retainer. Like, I just want you to be where I can pick up the phone and I can call you anytime. They will call me. And if I don't know the answer, then as a coach, it is my job to go and find either the person I need to connect them with or to get the answer. And if I need to connect with them with another person and that person is going to charge them, I need to talk to that person about negotiating everything and getting that lower price. I am the coach. I am facilitating that relationship so that my person hits their results. Coaching is very, very results oriented, whereas mentorship is not necessarily results specific, right? There's not quantifiable results we're going after. Then you have mastermind. Now, a mastermind, like a few years ago, was like the buzzword. Like everybody's like, ooh, mastermind. And if you're not in a mastermind, like you're not making any money. Okay, let's talk about masterminds. Masterminds, real masterminds are innovative circles. What they really do is they look at an idea or a challenge that you had previously, and then they talk about how to get over that idea. And then the next time you meet, which is usually somewhere between 3 months, 6 months, and a year, they talk about either A, how you got over that challenge that you're having, or B, what's the next best, greatest, newest, sexiest idea. Everybody comes to the table with a whole bunch of ideas, and the whole point of a mastermind is it's an idea generating audience, right? That's really what they do. They're like, here are ideas. Sometimes those ideas are specifically to get over challenges, but they're really supposed to be the innovative leg of your business, especially if you're a solopreneur or entrepreneur. You want to have a mastermind just to help you do that. And then finally, so masterminds again. Masterminds different from coaching. Masterminds are group-based. You could be in a paid mastermind. They're usually non-compete, right? So these are people who are not competing with you. They're usually confidential, and they're all about taking this idea, coming up with ideas, and then telling you from a strategic manner how to move that idea forward. Now, the people in the mastermind, by the way, are not responsible for getting on the phone with you and working with you on a weekly basis to move that idea forward. That's not what they do. You might want to go hire a coach to help you do that. You might want to have a mentor to talk about, hey, this was the idea that came up. But for the most part, a mastermind is really responsible for helping you come up with ideas or coming up with ways to overcome challenges. Here's why you'd want to be in a mastermind. If you are a solopreneur, or if you're a person who works from home and you don't have a group of people around you, then you might want to have a mastermind group that you can connect with periodically, because it's really hard, especially if you're an extrovert type or you're a person who's loquacious and talkative and you need to bounce ideas off of other people. You might want to have that mastermind group to connect and share ideas with and even understand their experiences. It could be a game changer for your business, especially if you are a solopreneur or an entrepreneur. Okay, so we have the mentor. Remember, mentor, big picture, big fluffy hugs, cheerleaders, help you far, far, far away, not even the same, close to the same experience kind of a people. And they're more like they're on this path that you want to get to in 20 years, right? Coach is someone, they've been there, they've done it, they're bringing their expertise, they're leveraging their network, and they're helping you get specific results to specific problems. Very specific. Then mastermind. Mastermind, a group of people, generally colleagues, that they think something, you think something, you should be bringing something to the table, they should be bringing something to the table, and their job is really to be the innovative or idea machine in regards to your business, and you're going to meet with them probably once every quarter or once every 6 months or once a year. Coach, by the way, once every week or so many times per month. Mentor on an as-needed basis. And then finally, an accountability group. Now, accountability groups are little known, like a lot of people don't know about them. And of all of these, I will tell you, accountability groups are the number one reason why my business has been successful outside of all the other stuff I do, having an accountability group is such a game changer. So the one that I run is called the 6 Accountability Group, the Daily 6 Accountability Group. Now, it is a mastermind and accountability group, and let me tell you what an accountability group is. Number one, they meet on a much more regular basis. It could be, hold on one second, let me grab this so I can show it to you. Oh, you know what? It wasn't even there. I thought it was in that book. I was going to show you what a layout looked like. Anyway, an accountability group meets on a weekly basis or even every other week, bi-weekly. So they meet on a very regular basis. Everyone in the accountability group has 2 things. Either number one, they bring something to the table, or they have people that they can get something from as well, right? So for example, let's say I am a master at building businesses, but I suck at marketing, right? Let's just use that for example. So if I'm a master at building businesses, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring all my business building expertise to the table. The people that are there in my accountability group should be able to help me with my areas of deficit. So if I suck at marketing, then there should be a marketing expert that can help me, right? And so it's a give and take. It should be colleagues at the same level, one level up or one level below, but it should be like really, really close. Should not be people that are so far out that they can't connect with you. And I'm going to talk to you about that too, because this is something that people get completely screwed up. And I'm going to get to that. So remind me if I don't, like write in the notes, say, you forgot to tell us why you don't want to have the big head, super smart people in your accountability and mastermind group. I'll tell you why. Anyway, in your accountability group, you want to have people that are close to the same level that will grow with you, grow your business with you, and you will grow with them. You are non-compete. Everything should be confidential. And if you partner it properly, they are really going to be the people that are holding your feet to the fire in regards to doing the things you're supposed to do in your business. That is when you have a great accountability group. Now, if you're like my group, when I run my accountability and mastermind groups, there are 2 things. Number one, they help you get past your frustrations. So whatever frustration, challenge, or roadblock you have that week, your accountability group is responsible for helping you get past it. That's number one. Number 2, they're also an idea generating group. So they have a mastermind flavor to them, whereas they go, listen, this is the challenge you were having. I've been thinking about it for a couple of weeks. This is how I think you can solve it, right? And then the whole mastermind group is in on helping you, right? So you have those 2 things. There are also people that are going to hold your feet to the fire. They're going to be like, listen, you said for the past month that you've been making phone calls and you ain't got no sales and it's not getting any better. We need to talk about what the hell you saying on the phone, because obviously you cursing people out. Like you're doing something wrong because it's not working. So they're the people who are really listening to what you're doing. It's almost like having a set of bosses and a set of colleagues, because you're really listening to whether you're being successful. This is so important, because here's the thing. If you don't have a strong accountability group, if you don't have people that can really help you, then what happens is people start moving so far up and other people are still trickling behind, and eventually they'll break off. So this happened recently for me. I had for about, 5 years, an accountability and mastermind group. But what happened was I outgrew them. And so then I had like these 5 people where I was constantly, and I'm not sitting here going because I was so smart. No, I do tell people though, if you're the smartest person in the room, that it's time to change rooms. Well, it's the same thing with an accountability group. When you're the person and you're constantly bringing solutions, but then when you have a problem, you get no solutions back, then it's time for you to change groups. For some people, that's very hard and their feelings get all hurt and their feelings get in it. It's not an emotional thing. It really is saying, I'm putting out. I'm not getting anything in return, which means this is no longer serving me. It has to serve you both emotionally and business-wise. So you got to get a business win and personal win. So emotionally, while I was very fulfilled and making sure that I was giving to my accountability group, I was not getting anything in return in regards to my business. So that can be hard, especially when you're with one for so long. Accountability groups and masterminds tend to stay together for a very, very, very long time. I mean, years. Coaches could be anywhere from a very short term, 1 month, 3 months, to I have people that I've coached for a few years now. And then mentorship can be a lifetime thing. Okay. So why, especially an accountability group, do you want people who are at your same level or just one level above? Well, just like I said, I was in my accountability group, and then it got to a point where I was only giving out advice. I was only helping people, and I wasn't getting anything in return. So after a while, I've outgrown it. So what does that mean? The people around me start looking like clients and less like colleagues, right? And so then I start thinking, why am I in it, right? So your mindset starts to change. And that's what you don't want. You do not want someone in your accountability group that looks like they're selling to you, right? And what was so funny is when I was in my accountability group, there was actually someone that I was like, damn, he needs to come to a retreat. But your accountability group is supposed to be filled with colleagues and not clients, right? And so when you get to that point where the people who are in your accountability group start looking at you more like clients and colleagues, you've outgrown them and it's time to step off and create a new group of your own. So anyway, those are the 4 different types. A mentor, long-term, big picture, can be a lifetime type of thing. Coach, very results oriented, very specific in what they bring to the table, very specific in how they can help and how far they can help. I'm very clear, by the way, when I'm working with people, like I can help you get this far, and then I can't help you get further than that. Does that shirt say what I think it says? I read the shirt at the beginning, Mr. Bentley. I said that I am working harder than an ugly stripper. I already said that, so you're tardy. And then a coach, like I said, very results oriented. Mastermind, idea generating group. Masterminds can last. I know some that last for years, and they usually try to meet in purpose. And then accountability. It says, how many groups would you be in at one time? Okay, that's a good question. I've only ever been in one accountability and mastermind group at the same time. No, that's not true. I've been in one accountability group and I've been in one mastermind group, and I have a coach. Do I have a mentor? I do have someone that mentors me, but it is on a very specific area. So I would say, yes, I have a mastermind group. I just dismantled the accountability, or I just left my accountability group, and I'm putting together another one. So yes, I had a mastermind group, but unfortunately I outgrew them. I know this is going to sound like I'm being a snob, and I swear to you, I'm not. I had a mastermind group that I outgrew. I had an accountability group that I outgrew. It's been a big growth year. I do have a coach and I do have a mentor. I would tell you right now, it's probably best not to have more than one accountability group. Your accountability group is really just one group of people that you're meeting with on a regular basis that become more like business colleagues than anything else. So you really only want to be in one of those. In regards to mastermind groups, I'm really big with just being in one mastermind group, because then after a while, you really just start getting like, you're just a group participant. Like all you're doing is grouping, and you don't have time to get your work done, because you know what? You are just as accountable to them as they are to you. And sometimes I got to go and help this person and help that person. And what you're doing is you're getting fulfillment from helping those people, but you're not getting your work done. So one accountability group. Now our accountability groups, so I'll tell you how our accountability groups run and why they're so successful. So the one thing that we do, especially in the retreat, is when people go to the High Profit Zone retreat, after the retreat, we do ask people if they want to be an accountability group. Our accountability group specifically is called the Daily 6 Accountability Group. So this means that everyone in that group is following the Daily 6 so they can make money. And the Daily 6 is a money maker. So they're following the Daily 6 to make money. And then beyond that, they are doing the mastermind and all that other stuff. Hey, Sean, how are you guys doing? Let me say hi to some people. Thank you for liking my messages, Emilio. What's up, Theta Jenkins? Michael's talking noise. What's up? What's up, Renita? What's up, Jessica? Hey, Brenda. So let me go ahead and give you guys this real quick. So our accountability group, we run it on a weekly basis. It meets for exactly 1 hour. There is a facilitator. It is paid. It is 100% accountability plus mastermind. We meet together once every 6 months. We meet on the phone once a week for an hour. It is the number one. I got to tell you, like me, I'm putting one together again right now. It is a money-making group. Like not being in one is actually kind of freaking me out a little bit because it is so powerful. everyone that comes to a high profit zone retreat, one of the things that we do is, especially for the one coming up, is that we put them in an accountability and mastermind group for the first 4 weeks so they could see how one runs, and then they could decide if they want to do one for long term. But they honestly, they absolutely do work. Let's see. It says, hi, I tuned in. You know, I got no glasses on. Okay. It says, hi, I tuned in. Did you explain differences between accountability and mastermind groups? Yes, but I'll do it really quick. Mastermind, idea generating groups. They are specifically to generating ideas. They meet quarterly, semi-annually, or annually, but they are specific to, we're going to help you with ideas to help you get past some roadblock, right? So that's what they do best. And, you know, people have morphed them and, you know, bastardized them, but masterminds are really a group of smart people coming together, coming up with ideas. They are the innovation part of your innovation leg of your business. An accountability group, however, is specifically about ensuring, it's almost like a sales meeting group. They're specific about ensuring that you're hitting your numbers, that you're hitting the goals that you set forth at the beginning of the year, that you're taking action on doing those, and to help you get past any roadblocks you might have in your business. Accountability groups, usually, if you have a good one, will have a mastermind component of it where they meet in person once every 6 months as well. A good accountability group is paid, and they have a facilitator, and the facilitator facilitates the conversations. Accountability groups are very in your face. They meet for 1 hour. They have no time for the BS. They're going to let you know when you're bringing BS to the table or when you're running the same problem over and over again. I would tell you, for me, an accountability group with the mastermind component is more powerful than anything else. And the reason I say that is because I've literally been in one for years, and people are always like, what's the secret to your success? And then when I tell them, they're like, well, I don't want to do that. Okay, well, why you ask? It is the secret to my success, and not being in one actually freaks me out a little bit because I know how successful it's made me in the past. So, and I do facilitate them, right? Because I recognize how powerful. In fact, Renita, who's on the thing, is going to start being a facilitator coming in January of our accountability and mastermind groups. Again, they run a very, very specific way, 1 hour a week, money-making group that has a mastermind component. It is super powerful. So that's it. Those are the 4 types. So I only share this because people always call me and ask me if I could be one or the other. And people are always saying they're looking for one versus the other. And I don't think that there's a good definition out there about it, around that. So you have your mentor, you have your coach, you have your mastermind, and you have your accountability group. And if you want to start like an accountability group, you want to learn more about how to do one that's really super successful, then you definitely should, first of all, give me a call, because trust me, I have mastered these and they're written up in my book, and I know companies that do them. Let's see. Can you give an example give an example? Damn, it's hard to read without glasses. Where HIT accountability group gave you key feedback that resulted in some... Oh, okay. Got it. I can read that. Okay, I got a couple of these. So one area that an accountability group was super, super helpful in specific results was when I was looking at even doing my high profit zone retreats. So I was going down one specific path in regards to the high profit zone, right? It was going to be all online. It was going to be all like video based. It was like this whole thing that we had going one direction. And then my accountability group kind of came to the table and said, hey, what if you do this or change this or swap this? And literally just by doing that, it was the difference between a failure and a success. The other thing that was real that my accountability group has done is in regards to giving me advice on having phone conversations, and the same thing that I've done for other people, or even in regards to my target market. Here's a really good one. We had a guy that was on, and he was totally struggling with a book that he was working on and a client that he was working with, and not being able to get the information that he needed from the client in order to get this book moving forward. But because he wasn't speaking in the same language of the client and he couldn't see that perspective, he struggled a bit. And so I literally was like, dude, don't say that. That's not going to work. You have to say this, 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 and this. He hung up the phone with us. An hour later, called back and said, oh my God, I've been trying to get this for months and I just got this guy to turn around like that. So accountability groups, the reason they meet on a regular basis, because we run into regular problems as business owners, and it is a game changer. It really changes just some of the conversations that you have with people on a very regular basis, and it ensures that you don't have these problems on an ongoing. Meeting quarterly is great for new ideas. Meeting semi-annually or annually is great for great ideas. But what about that crap that you run into on a weekly basis that you don't have anybody to talk to about and you need a group to take you to? That's what your accountability group is for, right? Because you need people that you could trust, that could constantly come back to the table and go, listen, you're trying to do this isn't working. Have you thought about this? My accountability group is one of the reasons why I even do live streams, because I wasn't doing them before. My accountability group was like, no, you need to do them. So anyway, this is just a couple of ideas that hopefully can help you. Like I said, just take a look at the different types: mentor, coach, mastermind, accountability. Figure out what kind you want. And if you want an accountability group, and trust me, if you buy my book, I ain't gonna get rich. And if you don't buy it, I ain't gonna be broke. But in my book, The 6 Kick-Ass Strategies of the $1 Million Entrepreneur, I lay out specifically how to run an accountability group. And if you go and look through my live streams, and I can't tell you when it was, but if you go look through my live streams, there's one that's like an hour where I literally lay out exactly how to do an accountability group. And if you go and look up OUR, Sean McBride, he does a whole video on how he's used my accountability group formula in order to be more successful in business. And he's running one of his own, and it's doing extremely well. So really think about that. Think about what you need before you run out and need it, because it totally works. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. It's a rare Sunday that you actually see me like working, but again, working harder than an ugly stripper today. So I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good Sunday, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.